Have you ever wondered how Siri or Alexa understands your commands? It's a question that piques the interest of many. In a world where technology is rapidly advancing, we're seeing artificial intelligence, or AI, become more and more deeply integrated into our daily lives. At the heart of this integration is a fascinating capability of AI, its ability to communicate with us using our own language. This isn't science fiction, it's science fact. It's called natural language processing, or NLP for short. NLP is the technology that enables our AI assistants to comprehend, interpret, and respond to our spoken or written words. It's the invisible bridge that connects human language and machine understanding, making our interactions with AI not just possible, but remarkably fluid and natural. But how does this technology work? Let's dive in and find out. Scene script. First things first. What is natural language processing? Natural language processing, often abbreviated as NLP, is a branch of artificial intelligence that focuses on enhancing the interaction between computers and humans. And how does it do this? By using the most natural form of communication we humans have, language. NLP is all about teaching machines to understand, interpret, and even generate human language. It's like giving computers a crash course in human linguistics, but with a technological twist. The goal here is not just to make computers comprehend words and sentences, but to make sense of them in a way that is valuable and meaningful. Let's break it down a bit. When we, humans, communicate, we don't just rely on words. We use context, tone, gestures, and even unspoken rules of conversation. We know, for instance, that a question requires an answer, or that a statement followed by, "isn't it?" is seeking confirmation. This is the complexity that NLP aims to translate into machine-readable format. NLP is like the Rosetta Stone for computers, decoding the enigma of human language. It's about programming machines to not only read and understand text, but also to decipher the nuances and complexities inherent in our language. It's about teaching a machine to understand sarcasm, interpret metaphors, or even detect the tone of a text. On the other side of the coin, NLP is also about generating human-like text. It's about creating algorithms that can write reports, answer questions, or even compose poetry. In essence, NLP is about bridging the gap between human communication and machine understanding. But why is this important? Well, think about it. Every day we generate massive amounts of text data: emails, social media posts, articles, and more. If we can teach computers to understand and make sense of this data, we can unlock a wealth of insights and automate a host of tasks, making our lives easier and more efficient. So it's all about making computers understand and speak our language. But how does it do that? Stay tuned as we delve into the key components of NLP in the next segment. Natural language processing is not just one thing, it's a combination of two key components: natural language understanding and natural language generation. Let's dive a little deeper into these components, shall we? First up, we have natural language understanding, often abbreviated as NLU. This is the part of natural language processing that deals with machine reading comprehension. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's all about how computers can be programmed to understand and interpret human language in a valuable way. It's the process that allows a computer to read a sentence or a piece of text and understand the context, the sentiment, and the meaning behind it. Think of it like this. When you read a book or an article, your brain automatically understands the meaning of the words, the tone of the sentences, and even the overall point of the text. That's exactly what NLU strives to achieve for machines. It's about teaching computers to understand text as more than just a collection of words and symbols, but as a meaningful piece of information. Next, we come to natural language generation, or NLG. If NLU is about understanding, NLG is about response. It's the process of producing meaningful phrases and sentences in the form of natural language from some internal representation. This is how a computer can generate a human-like response based on the information it has understood from the input provided. In simpler terms, it's like this. Once a machine has understood what you've said or written, NLG is the process that allows it to construct a coherent, relevant, and natural-sounding response. It's the reason why when you ask your voice assistant about the weather, it doesn't just show you numbers and symbols, but instead tells you that it's going to be sunny with a high of 75. So, in a nutshell, NLU helps the computer understand what we're saying, and NLG helps it respond in a way we can understand. And together, these two form the backbone of what we call natural language processing. Now that we know what NLP is and its key components, where do we see it in action? Natural language processing, or NLP, is everywhere around us, often working behind the scenes to make our lives easier. Let's take a look at some of the most common and impactful applications of NLP that we interact with on a daily basis. First off, we have voice assistants like Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant. These clever digital companions use NLP to understand our spoken commands. They can answer questions, play music, set reminders, and even tell jokes, all thanks to the power of NLP. When we ask, "Alexa, what's the weather like today?" Alexa uses NLP to parse our question, understand its context, and provide a relevant response. Next up, consider the email spam filters. Have you ever wondered how your email service knows which messages to mark as spam and which to leave in your inbox? That's NLP at work again. By analyzing the language used in the email, an NLP-based spam filter can distinguish between legitimate emails and spam, saving us the hassle of deleting unwanted messages manually. Autocorrect and predictive text on our smartphones is another everyday application of NLP. Whether you're sending a quick text or drafting a lengthy email, these features help us type faster and with fewer errors. They use NLP to understand the context of what we're writing and suggest the most likely next word or correct misspelled words. Lastly, let's not forget about translation services like Google Translate. These services use NLP to understand text in one language and translate it into another. They don't just translate word for word, but consider the context and grammar rules of both languages, resulting in a more accurate and natural translation. So, whether you're asking Siri for the weather or your email is filtering out spam, NLP is hard at work. This fascinating field of artificial intelligence is continually evolving, improving our interactions with technology and making our lives just a little bit easier every day. With all these applications, you might wonder, what's next for NLP? Well, let's take a peek into the future of natural language processing. One of the most exciting prospects is the advancement in language translation. Imagine, if you will, a world where language barriers are virtually non-existent, where a conversation between a Mandarin speaker and a Spanish speaker is as effortless as a chat between two English speakers. NLP is set to make that vision a reality, with real-time, highly accurate language translation. Next up, let's consider the future of voice assistants. Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant. They're already quite impressive, aren't they? But they're about to get even better. We're talking about assistants that can understand context and emotions, that can hold a meaningful conversation, and that can even understand and respond to complex instructions. This isn't just about making life more convenient, it's about making technology more accessible to people who might otherwise struggle with it. And then there's sentiment analysis. This is the process of determining the emotional tone behind a series of words. Right now, it's mostly used by businesses to understand customer feedback. But in the future, it could be used in a range of applications, from mental health support to conflict resolution to even predicting political trends. As we continue to push the boundaries of artificial intelligence, we can expect NLP to become even more integrated into our daily lives. This isn't just about developing cool new gadgets. It's about creating tools that can help us communicate more effectively, understand each other better, and make our world a little bit smaller. So, the next time you ask Siri a question, remember there's a whole lot of sophisticated technology that makes it possible. So, we've come a long way from wondering how these AI systems understand us, haven't we? From the simple definition of natural language processing, where we discovered that it is a field of artificial intelligence that enables machines to understand, interpret, and generate human language, we've journeyed to its key components. Remember, they include syntax, semantics, discourse, and speech. We've seen how each component plays a vital role in making our interactions with AI more seamless and efficient. Then, we ventured into the fascinating world of its applications. We've seen how NLP is revolutionizing fields like customer service, healthcare, and even our day-to-day digital experiences. And finally, we've looked towards the future, a future where NLP might make our interactions with machines as natural as our conversations with each other. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? And that, my friends, is the magic of natural language processing in a nutshell.